Alright, today's lesson is 9-1, Introduction to Geometry. We're going to talk about points, lines, and planes. Some symbols that we have is point, and if you have a dot with an A, that's called point A. And then if you have a line that has two arrows on both sides, it's called AB, line AB, and you would write it out with a line sign over the top of the two variables. You only need two variables when you write a line. Plane, notice I have A, B, C, D, and then M in the middle. So you can write it out two ways for the plane. You can say all four letters, but you cannot mix it up. You can't say A, C, D, B. You have to put them in order from that they're attached to each other. That's the reason why it's A, B, C, D. Or you could just name it by the letter that's inside of the plane. Line segment is where two segments, 2 points stop a line. And so this time you don't have arrows on top when you write out the line segment. It's just AB with a line over the top of it. And then ray is, you always start with where it starts with A and goes to B, and if the arrow keeps going, that means that's a ray. So you always have to be where the end point ends, so it starts A, B. And we'll discuss that more when we do example 1. Name each figure. The picture is right there for you. We have name 4 points on this figure. So I have some points that are on the lines. What are 4 points that are on the lines, people? W, H, K, and T. Notice N is not on the line, so you cannot put that. N is for lines, and that's for later on. Yes, you do need to put commas, or you just have made WHKT a plane. So you need commas, yes. B, name 4 different segments. So, we have segments here. We have WT, that's one segment. Has to have 2 letters. WK.
WK?
Yep.
WKD. Really?
Yep. You can make small segments or big segments.
TK.
It doesn't matter. You can turn it around. KT or TK.
KT is my So even if there's a point in between them?
Yep. Segment could be a long or a short line.
What about TH?
TH. Well, that's the 4th one. Now, notice it, instead of WT, it could be TW. Depends on how you want to write it. WK and KW are the same thing. KT and TK are the same thing, and TH and HT are the same thing. Okay, it says write 5. I'm going to erase these. Write 5 other names for WT. So notice it says right here, this is the line for WT. I might make it green so you can see it better. Okay. So you have WT is that line. So another way of naming it is switching it out. So you can make it TW. That's another way of calling it. What are some other points on that line? K. So I can make it WK. Or what? KW. I can even not even have W in there. What other T? T what? TK. TK and KT. K Okay, the other one, that's 5, but I'm going to tell you one other. This N right here also is calling that line N. So all you have to do for that one is put a little cursive N. You don't have to put a line over the top of it. It's just N.
Wait, so do you always have to put a line over it? It's its own self.
Yeah. You have to make a line segment. I mean, for a line, yes. Line segments have just the no arrows. Okay, I'm going to make the next part purple for 5 different rays. HK? No, because that's a totally... HK is not even a line. Okay, so we're going to name some different rays. I know the easiest one to notice is TH. Starts with T and goes through H. We cannot put HT because the line doesn't keep going through T. Okay? We could do TK. Very good.
So you can't do TH?
No. Well, I already did TH, sweetie.
No, what about C though? Because I was looking for.
No, because that's not the same line. Okay, TK. No, N is not a point on the line.
But wouldn't that
TW?
TW.
I only found 3. Does the line on the top go the other way then?
Yep.
And then,
No, you always start with T.
and then no, like the line on top. Does the arrow?
Always goes to, your arrow always goes to the,
And then
right.
this person, can you like switch them so it's KT?
Yes, very good. You can have it where K starts the thing, and you have a ray that goes to T and then K. Not T, sorry. K,
So can the
KT or KW, it doesn't matter. KT and KW are the same thing. What's the other one that could be? I might start with W and go towards K.
You can't do WT?
Or WT. KT and KW and WK and WT mean the same thing.
why can't we do HT?
HT because the line doesn't keep going through T. It stops at T. So that would be a line segment. Yeah. The arrow has to keep going. All right. Let's go to example 2.
I'm sitting down.
Okay, so the vocabulary we're learning for this section is intersects. That's where 2 lines meet. They meet at a point. That's called a vertex. And then you have parallel. Well, that's where 2 or more lines don't meet and they lay along the same line. Usually when you hear parallel, you'll see this symbol. It's 2 L's next to each other. That's the symbol they use for parallel. Most people do not write out the word parallel. They just put 2 L's together, and that makes the word parallel. You don't have to write it out. Then you have what's called skew. That means where 2 or more lines aren't parallel. They cannot be parallel, and they do not intersect. And we'll go over that on example 2. It's a 3D box, sweetie. You don't have to have them where they touch.
Miss Carson, for parallel, can we just say 11?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So you'll see how I say parallel. So, okay, so we are going to do DH. Everything's about DH. So I'm going to highlight this line. Oh, that's way too thick of a highlight.
Should we get a highlighter out?
Nope, this is just for me. If you want to, it might be helpful for you. DH, right here. Okay. So we are going to talk about things that intersect DH. A line that intersects
DC.
DC. This line, that line intersects
AD.
Okay, can I just write it down? Thank you. So we have DC, that intersects. What else intersects?
GH.
AD and GH. I'll write them both down. AD and GH. Well, I have 3 of them. EH. That also. Those intersect. Now I'm going to change the color so you can see the highlighted spot for the next part. 3 things that are parallel to DH. So it's going straight up and down. So I'm guessing all the ones that are parallel are going to go straight up and down. AE. Huh? So that's it.
Why did you get 80? Who's Carson?
BF. It's you have to put that.
BF
Oh, and CG.
and CG. Notice they're all going the same direction and they cannot intersect.
Miss Carson, it took me a while to figure out that was an E.
Okay.
Why did she?
Okay. Shh. Now, we are going to do 4 segments that don't touch and they are not parallel to DH. So I'm guessing it's the other 4 lines that are not used. Notice AB, it's behind DH, so it cannot intersect it. AB is behind it, and it's not going to touch it. So it's going to be AB. And EF, very good. Again, it's behind it. A, no. CB. Notice they're not parallel and they're not intersecting. So BC or CB, it doesn't matter. And then FG. And those are all your skew lines. It just means they cannot be parallel, so they're not going the same direction, and they cannot touch that. So if you need to, you might want to draw out the picture and do this with a highlighter so it can help you better when you find the skew lines. That is the end of the lesson. We're not going to do example 3. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.